Oh yeah, and I forgot. So as I was looking at gas prices on our like Comdata fuel app, where it shows what discounts you can get for diesel fuel, I noticed it seemed a little pricier the further away I was getting. And so one of the things I'm going to do before I take off is just kind of map out where the next cheapest place to fuel up is. So one of the things that they talk about is, hey, you should get an auxiliary fuel tank. So you can't, maybe you can see it. You can kind of see it right back there. So I was like, whatever, I'll get going. And that was kind of the goal, was let's get some money in, and then I will tweak the business to become more profitable. So a fuel tank is a game changer, and I would almost say that it's something that you should get. If you're looking to get into this, you should get it like day 0, because once you hook up, you're stopping every 2.5 to 3 hours to fuel up, and you don't know what kind of prices you're going to get, and plus you only have a 32 to 37 gallon fuel tank. So mine is an 80 gallon tank, so I'm pushing, I think, like 107 total gallons. So when I got the wind working with me and not against me, opposed to yesterday, I can get 1,000 miles. I don't have to stop for an entire trip. I can be really choosy at where I want to fuel up at. And so, when you do simple math, even if you have your Comdata card and you're getting a discount, but the cheapest place around is $2.10, and sticker value's $2.30 a gallon. Well, if you can drive a little further and fuel up for $1.72, and you're putting 100 gallons in, that makes every single trip that much more profitable. That's why it's one of those things where you don't need it, but you really shouldn't wait to get it because of that one thing right there. If you have a fuel card and you can get discounted diesel fuel, then you need to do it right away, because you're going to make more money by simply doing it. The guy at Dan's service center had explained it to another trucker really well. He's like talking about what does it cost, and the guy was like, what's it matter what's it cost? Like, what can you buy and in 10 days you've already paid it off, and then you're just putting more money in your pocket. So if you play the fuel game right, like, that's what you're doing. And right after he said that, I had went and talked to him and said, hey, when can you guys squeeze me in to get a fuel tank? And then I ended up being laid over in Elkhart for like 2 days, just so that they could squeeze me in, but it was well worth it. So that's it. I'm going to hit the road, and I will take you guys along the journey. And then one other thing with fuel, so my friend that got me into it had mentioned, that he'll always try to fuel up at a TA. So the reason being is you can get your rewards, your points, your cards, and after...
For 23 miles, continue straight.
I think it's 60 gallons of fuel, which, again, if you've got an auxiliary tank, you're going to hit that easy. Then you get free comp showers, so otherwise you're paying like $14 for it. So, and then I was talking to another guy in like I think they call it the DAC, like the driver's lounge back in Elkhart, and he was talking about, I think he always fuels up at Pilots, and he's like, yeah, that's how I've gotten my like iceless cooler. And so just because you're going to be spending money on fuel there, and when you're stopping to getting, the necessities like, the energies in a can, or your coffees or whatever it is that like you drink, you're going to be racking up points, and so then you're going to be able to redeem those points. Just a little tip that I'm learning while being on the road. 3 miles, And now we are pulling into a Pilot to get that $1.75 or 73 fuel, which I still have a full tank, but my auxiliary tank is about halfway gone. So that's where you can be a little choosy on where you're filling up. And this is just kind of how, so like you have to go in through the big rig truck area when you're fueling up with your ComData card. And then as you're going through this, you have a truck ID number. And so with that truck ID number, when you go in to enter a freaking million different things at the pump, like you can't just select the grade and then pump. You have a truck ID number, and so I will swipe my ComData card, which ties to the company that I run with their account, and then it'll say, what's your vehicle ID? Enter that. And then for the longest time, it gives you options. I'm like, what in the hell are these options? Your tractor, your reefer, both, and then maybe DEF is another one that was on there right away. But I'm like, tractor or reefer? Like, dude, I got a truck. I don't have a tractor. But so used to like tractor. Again, I am a gym owner by trade. This stuff's new. So you enter that. Then like Pilot and Flying J's, I think, have they're together. And so like I have a Pilot and Flying J rewards card. So I'll typically always just fuel up at TAs or Pilots and Flying J's. So I'm maximizing the amount of points I can get to utilize for whatever I end up using it for, but definitely free showers. So with that, then you go through it, you fill it up, and one of the cool things is, so it may say, I don't know, so it says diesel is $2.45 and $2.39 if you pay cash. So when I get done fueling up, it's gonna say a total based off of that credit number. I'll go and open up my ComData app, and I'll see that I didn't pay that. I'll tell you guys that after I fuel up. So we'll hop out and we'll just do it right now. So here we go. My truck doesn't have DEF. I'm glad. I would forget to monitor that, so that's a positive. And then one of my friends in this talks about he uses a certain additive. So if you're somebody that is an experienced driver and you're watching this, and you have an additive that you use, hey, drop a comment, let me know, because I'd love to know what people are using. You know, if you can get an extra mile a gallon, that's huge. So now I swipe my rewards card, and then please wait. Here we go. Enter your vehicle ID number. Okay, so putting some diesel in my tractor. And then it's gonna ask you, hey, do you want DEF? I don't have to worry about that. So just one of the benefits of an older truck, so I'll skip. And it's gonna get set up. So over here, I need to get a lock for this. But this is just a gravity fed auxiliary tank. So there is a valve right there that allows you to turn it on, turn it off. But I'll fill this tank up, and it just gives me an extra 80 gallons until, you know, I need to stop and fuel up. So I never have to actually worry about getting to E. I can be really selective at the price of which I'm fueling up at. So I'm gonna fuel up, and then the next time you see me, I'll tell you the difference on price-wise. Okay, so just finished fueling up, and we are at a total of $160.73 at face value. So I'm gonna hop in the truck. I'm gonna open the app up, and we'll see what I actually paid and do some math. Okay, in the truck, make sure that you pull forward after you fuel up if you're doing anything else. I guess that's just like trucker etiquette. But so I was at 167 at face value, and when I opened up the Comdata app, I actually paid 118. So, you know, that's like a $40 saving right there. That, again, if you're able to be selective when you're, you know, doing the RV transport thing, or, you know, whatever professional driving, if you have a, I don't know how they get these discounts, but if you have that Comdata card, then like you're literally just putting more money in your pockets by having the auxiliary fuel tank. So, moral of the story, if you're getting in this, you don't need the tank. But if you like money, you're gonna get the tank. So, do it, it's worth it, and it'll pay for itself as much as you're driving. So if you're driving a ton, it pays itself off quickly. All right, guys, that's it. I am going to hit the road now and start that trek through Wyoming into Indiana. Not Indiana, into Idaho. Hoping that wind doesn't play a factor. I hear that Wyoming is super windy, so I'm hoping that it doesn't get too windy today. It was like a 4-mile-an-hour wind as I was coming into the state earlier. So I don't know. Wish me luck. We are putting some miles on the old truck today.